3, 2, 1. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Let's go.
This is me, Dope. I am your co-host, Nessa Rituzamba. I'm here with my other co-host, Meta.
Yeah, Meta in the building. She, him pronouns.
Hey, hey. And so, first of all, let me just give you guys an overview of Meet Dope. This is our third podcast. So we just got started. Last week, I missed you. Meta, I missed you. And I forgot to do the game. I forgot to
See, that's what happens when you ain't got the sauce with you. Come on now, you can't be scheduling without me.
No sauce. Not too much sauce, but no sauce. Yeah, so last week I forgot to do the damn game. Is that a curse word? Hopefully that's clean. Hopefully that's a clean edit. But so I forgot to do the game, but let me just give you guys an overview. From now on, when we do the podcast, I always want to let you guys know that Meet Dope is here introducing all of the dopeness and all of the culture that's going on Web3 to you guys. So not only can you know all of the flavor, all of the sauce that's going on in Web3, but the biggest goal is to inspire everybody to take their own Web3 journey. And we'll get into what Web3 is. I'm actually going to once we introduce our guests, I'm going to let them. I figured out now, I want everybody to kind of give their definition of Web3 once they come on. So that's Meet Dope. And now I'm going to hand it over to my co-host, Meta Movie's going to give an introduction of the guests, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So today we have two incredible guests with us, leading a powerhouse of a Web3 organization, project, company. I don't know what y'all want to say when y'all introduce yourself, a 50mm collective in the space, in Web3, just doing big things, and leading the way for a lot of other people who look like us in this space and who, need to find their place in this space. So I think they are leaders and thought provokers in this space. I want to welcome Raven and Chelsea to Meet Dope. Welcome, y'all. Welcome.
Hey, thank y'all so much for having us today. Thank you.
Y'all hear our crowd?
Oh yeah, they going wild.
So if y'all could just introduce yourselves again real quick and just tell us a quick little blurb about what 50mm Collective is and what y'all are out here to do.
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Chelsea, she, her pronouns. So 50mm Collective, we are an NFT collective founded by BIPOC, LGBTQIA plus artists. We are dedicated to providing resources and opportunities to historically underrepresented communities. We believe diversity and inclusion should be the forefront of Web3. As it is a global market. And we also believe that being an artist should not be being an artist for a living should not be some unattainable dream. So our goal is to fuse culture, community, and curation to further uplift and enrich the global art world.
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Raven Trammell, aka Raven 50mm. My pronouns are he, him. I am a photographer and community builder based out here in LA, as well as the co-founder of the 50mm Collective. And I think you skipped over your intro and just dove right into the 50mm Collective. So can you give a intro of who you are?
Yes, I'm an artist and community builder in the space. I have coined the term for myself as an aesthetics artist. So I create on the blockchain whatever I feel is aesthetically pleasing to me and to the communities I interact and connect with. So that is me. I mean, I can keep going.
No, that's good. That's dope. And I like how y'all playing off each other. You know what I mean? So you like, hey, come back now. So
right.
Know who
that's
you is.
I
feel the synergy. So go ahead, Raven.
So yeah, that's our intros. So.
Okay, for sure. All right. So welcome to the show. Appreciate y'all for being here. It's inspiring, it's dope, it's motivating what y'all are doing in this space. And, I'm along for the ride. So I've just been watching, what I mean? And so trying to support in whatever ways I can. I know later on in the interview, we're going to get into other ways we can support y'all and some things y'all are doing right now.
Facts. But before we get into more of the interview, I want to give a little bit of backstory and a little bit of sauce. So I met all of you all on the internet. The same way a lot of people who are in this Web3 journey have been doing, even my co-host Meta. So when we decided to do, there was NFT LA. And because NFT LA did not have any representation, or they didn't, and it was kind of hard for the culture of our people to even be able to access it, to be able to have affordability, to even get into the building of NFT LA, we decided to partner up with Economy and Web3 Pull Up and kind of do our own thing. That's been a common story throughout a lot of these, I don't want to say Web3 spaces, but events that are kind of going on here. And that's how I was able to meet the 50mm Collective. We hosted a panel. They were so kind and were able to come. They didn't have to. They shared their story. They shared their journey. They shared what they're doing. But right now, I want them to share it with you guys, because it's important that everybody knows, like, it's a lot of soldiers, it's a lot of people doing a lot of not only work in the community, but sacrifices, a lot of everything. So I want them to go through their Web3 journey, but I don't want them to leave out any details. Please tell, and don't be humble, be arrogant and tell everything that you are genuinely doing. Because I'm on the East Coast right now of America, but they are based in, and we left that out, they're on the West Coast in LA. Please go ahead, let us know your journey, what got you into Web3, what you're doing, how you doing it.
You want
I can go.
you go, because I kind of like,
I'll go.
you started first.
All right. All right. So to kick off the Web3 journey, it's all started in the Clubhouse room, which I feel like for most of us, that's the similar sentiment. I was in Clubhouse December 2020, just trying to find information on how to invest cryptocurrency, especially during the pandemic. Just trying to find another stream of income. And then folks started talking about NFTs and digital artwork, and Micah Johnson's name was thrown in there, and selling your artwork as NFTs. And I was like, frantically taking notes, like, what is all this? What are all these new words and things? And just started researching and kind of went down the rabbit hole from there. And I started on a completely different blockchain with Phantasma and minting on Ghost Market, which was really great to just kind of learn and make my mistakes. And because it was really cheap, the gas fees were like very, very minimal. And so figured some things out there, and then went to the Ethereum blockchain in March. And that's when I minted my first few pieces called Los Amethyst. And
what type of pieces were those?
Those were shots of downtown LA just after it had rained. So photography.
So you're a photographer. You're saying you were doing photography before you got into Web3, I assume, right?
Right. Yeah, photography. I've been shooting photo for going on probably 10 plus years now. And
So was Web3 kind of like another avenue to make money? Was it another avenue to show off your photography, or why do you think it attracted you?
I was attracted to it because it was like a new technology. It was a new avenue to showcase. And
I have to interject because Raven had a whole photography business that got shut down during the pandemic. So it was really like a needed
Yeah.
type of thing, like to find work, like photography work that wasn't,
Mhm.
you know, concert based or boudoir portrait based, because like
Yeah.
we couldn't do anything, like we couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
I was shooting before. I was doing, like Chelsea mentioned, boudoir photography out of the home studio, but then with the pandemic, that shut that down. So I wasn't able to continue that, and that's what led me to go outside and start really documenting the protests that were going on, because that was like right in line at the exact same time.
Right.
And
So Web3, here we are. What a great
yeah,
pivot.
so
What
yeah,
a great
yeah.
pivot in this time, right?
Wait, what was that?
No, I was saying it was a great pivot in, in that time, okay, Web3. So here we are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so yeah, I minted that first collection, and that sold during an auction on Clubhouse, and that helped me establish my floor price, and then just kind of built up from there. And really saw the blockchain and like selling my artwork in this way as an opportunity to uplift the community that's around us. And so I curated a few pieces. Well, Chelsea and I, she helps me with all curation, getting photos together for any of my projects. She's like the only one that I trust in that regard, of just like my most vulnerable work, and like hearing the feedback and critiques and how things can be better. But she helped me pick a few pieces to kick off the Praying for Change collection. And that was a micro collection of 8 pieces minted on Foundation. And all of those pieces are tied to a small business or a charity that I donated a small percentage to, just to kind of test, this new income and way to sell my artwork. And yeah, those sold out from both drops. And then from there, curated again the tandem curation of Hustle and Motivate, and getting that collection together and minting that on Nipsey Hussle's birthday. And that collection in particular is special because it's tied to Crete Academy, which is a school out here in South LA that focuses on serving students experiencing homelessness and or extreme poverty. It's a small school, just over 200 students. And there's a good bulk of photo, like about a third of the collection was photographed during a memorial service at Crete Academy. They introduced like the new basketball mural, or the new basketball court mural, which was of Nipsey Hussle. And I was documenting that, and some of those photos made it into there. And so I went to the school, got them set up with a Meta Mask. And after the collection sold out in the 12 hours that it did, I donated 2 ETH to them on the spot, and was just like, this is for you. This is like a positive introduction into crypto, into NFTs. You're now set up with a Meta Mask, you know what I mean? So you're in this ecosystem now, and it was theirs to do with it whatever they wanted. I hope they cashed some of it out back about a year ago, because the way things are looking now, sheesh. Dang. But from there, did another collection of concert photography, which I hadn't seen out. Last year was a lot of just experimentation and just seeing like the possibilities of not only within my archives and minting those photographs to the blockchain, but also the different technology and like drop mechanics of like dropping a collection of NFTs. So the concept.
Yeah, so as you mentioned that, I wanted to pause real quick and just get into that piece, right? So you're saying you're dropping all these collections. Y'all sound like y'all got the artwork down, y'all got the organization down, y'all got that teamwork. Can you take us a little bit more into like, what is the tech behind it? Like, what is did you need extra help on that? Were y'all able to figure that out yourself? Did you make your own contract? Like, what's the behind the scenes of dropping a project? What does that mean?
Ooh, that's a good question. There's a lot of like inner workings, I feel like, to at least how I go about it. I've kind of like chilled out since last year.
No, like
go ahead. Yeah, you got something to say. Go ahead.
So I really appreciate just Raven's overall approach to just the project curation, just in general. Just because it's not like it's hard sometimes, like working with Raven, because Raven's like feeling and meaning, like when the picture actually was taken, is why he wants like feel like when it gets down to like the smart contract aspect, like Raven has really you just like pretty much reach out to whoever is like developing that smart contract. Will be in Discord. It's just like asking all the questions. But to that point, like to have all the photos organized by like color, theme, like even time of day, like to the like maximum detail to be able to put those rarity traits into the smart contract, I feel like really makes it all worth it. And I feel like that's what also makes you such like an amazing photographer, and like why your work like reads well like across the board is because of like the attention to detail and just like the overall time and intention like into like each collection. It's very thought out. It's not like, oh, these photos look good, let's put them together over here. It's like, no, like I felt this particular way in this moment when I took this photo of this woman. Like I felt her pain, like emotions like are attached to like every single photo that Raven takes, and it's just really goes all into the contract, which I think is like super dope.
Now it
Also,
does.
I feel like Raven was like the first one to like do a photography drop on a smart contract anyway, but like
On a custom contract.
on a custom contract and
Oh,
really
yeah, claim that.
Okay,
Claim that.
burn.
Fam.
no,
Right.
I really feel like you were, and like really just set the trend like for a lot of things within the NFT space, especially for photography. So, and I feel like that gets overlooked a lot. So I can't even say that enough. So, but if you want to speak more on like smart contracts, like your experience with that, I just know like you have.
Well, y'all cut out for a little second, so I want to recap a little bit. So you're saying like for some of the smart contract stuff, y'all have built enough relationships where if you need help on, putting the traits into a contract, then you have people that you can reach out to like help you curate the contract piece, because you got the art curation down. Is that kind of what I was hearing?
Well, I feel like you just created them yourselves. Like
So y'all do y'all's own in-house contract, y'all figure it out.
Well, I've used like a couple of, because just to like be very clear, I don't code or anything like that. I just figure out the tools and tinker around with them. And the thing about me is like, I'm gonna blow somebody's Discord up if I got the questions. So like I will be in there like, all right, so who do I gotta, okay, you work for the company, great, at you, and like, I'm trying to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody please help me? And they're very responsive. That's like, that Discord is such a powerful tool in that way of being able to directly go to whoever who's working for these companies or building whatever, and just being like, yo, I need help. I got this question? And they're like, sending resources or answering questions or things like that.
And Twitter too.
Yeah, no, Twitter too, for sure. Twitter. But I had used, so for the concert photography, I had used a service called Nifty Kit, and they were in the beta testing of their drop kit feature, which drop kit, you're able to, like Chelsea was saying, incorporate rarity traits. You're able to do a randomly minted project, insert the metadata however you want, that kind of thing. And I hadn't seen that done with photography. This was last October. So I hadn't seen any of that done with photography. And I kind of wanted to take the drop mechanics that I was seeing with collectibles and PFPs and incorporate that into a photography drop. And so that's what I did. We curated the all access photo pass collection, which was 60 pieces, and it included rarity traits of like what camera was used, the concert venue that the photograph was taken, what artist was in the photo, black and white versus color, and it kind of in inserting those in the different photos automatically created, the different rarity traits of like only 24% of the photos are of Big Sean, or only 5% are black and white, and that kind of thing. So just to try it and kind of create a fun drop mechanic for the community, for collectors.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, because I remember about a year ago, a lot of people were saying like, how do we get things like poetry? How do we get photography? How do we get them in the space? And look at y'all trend setting over here, 50 Millimeter Collective, and y'all did it. And we gonna just say it right here on the show. Y'all was the first to do it. It was the first.
They pioneers, okay?
So
Word.
before we move on, I did want to loop back around. We got a lot of Raven, how you got into Web3. We want to, loop over to Chelsea. Like, what was your Web3 journey? How you get into Web3? How to start?
So I got into Web3 honestly by default, not really. But as Raven was learning more and like sharing more information and like as I started like listening to like Twitter Spaces like on my lunch break and like I feel like it really started for me when the 50mm Collective Twitter account launched in September. I felt like we got to a point where me personally, I was like watching Raven advocate for so many artists in the space and not seeing that love and appreciation like reciprocated, and like it kind of got like disheartening, and then like that's kind of prompted the 50mm Collective in general, was just like a space for all artists because Raven didn't fit. So I got into the Web3 space watching Raven and like assisting with curating for the drops, and I really got in once the 50mm Collective Twitter account was started. I don't know if this part was caught in the beginning, but I just was watching Raven advocate for so many artists in the space and not seeing that reciprocated back. It was disheartening. And then just realizing that this space did not have as much diversity and inclusion as it needed to be as well. Like Raven identifying not as a they at the time, and now he, him, there were no opportunities for queer artists to that capacity. And so if we don't see like what we need, we're just gonna create it ourselves. And so then that is when I really was like, all right, I need to get into this space. I'm also an artist. Like my background is in fashion and design. Like my mother is a fine arts painter, professor. Like art is just like always been in my blood, and just like seeing this space as an opportunity to like really create and really make being an artist for a living a sustainable lifestyle is something that I wanted to explore as well. Just because I also watched my mom work 3 jobs growing up, being a dance teacher, an art teacher, and working with a college, like field performances, also just like doing creative work. You can't just do like live off of that unless you do it times 10. So that really seeing the Web3 space as an opportunity to create and have that lifestyle was something that we wanted to provide for our communities. I mean, that's what made me passionate about jumping in. And so I minted my first collection October 2021, my Angel's Flight. And that was my first time having my artwork in a gallery, having my artwork featured in Times Square, having my collection go across country and be a part of like so many gallery curations that weren't just our own, and being able to like share that with my family. And it was just really amazing to like sell NFT work too. So that's really how I got into the space. And obviously the Meta Masquerade that we hosted, our first annual one, was prompted because even though we started this community, we were still going out to NFT events. Like thankfully we live in LA where all of these opportunities are available. So we would go out and not see ourselves in any of these events or places that we are attending, and just like seeing another need and saying, you know what, we're going to throw our own event, and we're going to have a huge gallery, and we're going to have all underrepresented artists from all over the world. And that's kind of like what propelled 50mm Collective and was like, okay, this is a thing now. Like there's no turning back. We have to, we're in here. We're in here. But yeah, I feel like I was like,
no, that's perfect.
No, that's great.
Perfect, concise, like
and it's perfect for our transition. But we wanted to give you your claps and praise first before that.
Flowers.
Because y'all can't see us on the podcast. Like we over here like cheering that she like saying everything like she achieved during that time point, we over here like this, but y'all can't see us. So we're gonna do a little quick clap dance after anyway. But congrats. And we need to now transition to your deep, dark secrets. We're gonna do the game.
Oh yeah, because the people out there, they don't always, you be in spaces and y'all be handling business, and people don't always get to like get in there and know a little bit more about you on a personal level. So we got this little game. We calling it this or that. This time we're gonna call it this or that meets dope. Meet dope. And it's just a list of questions. And so I think we'll go back and forth, so y'all both don't have to answer each question. We'll start with Chelsea, then we'll go over to Raven. We'll go like that. So each of y'all can answer a question. We'll go down the list, and then that'll be that. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Because you can get with this or you can get with that. You can get with this or you can get, okay, go ahead.
All right, so hold on. Did you want, okay, no, we'll go with these. All right, for sure. All right, so we'll start with you, Chelsea. Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Okay. Raven, favorite color?
Black.
Okay. Chelsea, what's your favorite cereal?
What is that cereal called? Life.
Teamwork.
I know, I saw that.
Raven, toasted strudels or Pop-Tarts?
Toaster strudels.
Okay. Tupac or Biggie?
Is that me?
That's you.
Yep.
Shoot, we in LA, Tupac.
Okay. Basketball or football?
Basketball all day. Next
Hey,
question.
let's go.
No, just kidding. I used to hoop. I played basketball all my life, so that's I
Me
love
too.
Bitcoin or ETH?
E.
Okay. Brandy or Monica?
For me,
Yeah.
Both of you guys answer that one.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna go with Brandy.
I was gonna go with Brandy too.
I was gonna go with Brandy too. Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Nikki.
Y'all can both answer that one.
I go, oh shit, I don't know. I'll probably go with Cardi, to be honest.
Okay. Raven, chicken wings or vegan patties?
What's a vegan patty?
I don't know. I don't eat vegan food, so
I usually am with like the vegan options, but if I don't know what it is, I'm gonna go with the chicken wing.
I just imagine it was like a burger. Love it. Chelsea, pie or cake?
Cake.
Raven, favorite breakfast?
Ooh, breakfast burrito or tacos.
Okay.
Breakfast?
Breakfast tacos.
Yeah, I had some breakfast tacos. It was bomb. Chelsea, back it up or grab it?
Grab it.
80. Raven, soccer or tennis?
I guess tennis.
I thought we were getting after dark. We went back to sports.
All right, next one, both of y'all can answer. Boobs or butt?
But yeah.
Oh, unanimous. All right.
Now we know all your secrets.
If money were no object, where would y'all go next? What would you do? Y'all can both answer that.
Go to Spain.
We're going to Spain.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Spain.
Take a trip to Spain.
Oh, y'all gonna do the bull run?
All day.
Y'all gonna do that bull run down the street and try to
Now we
dodge?
get some paella.
Yeah, paella on the coast.
Barcelona,
Yeah,
you
paella on the
know.
coast. That seems more the vibe. Not running from bulls.
Who
Italy.
was the run from animals? We run from animals all damn day.
All right, for sure. That was the last question. in our this or that, meet Dope. Thank y'all for participating. It's a little fun section to get to know y'all a little better.
Cool. That's
All
what's
right.
up.
Thank you so much, Manu. That was very, very nice. Appreciate it. All right. So now let's get you guys to give us a little bit of information about what you're working on. Give us more details about the 50 Millimeter Collective and all the other dopeness that you guys are doing, because you're doing a lot in the community and for the community. So run it down. Don't be shy.
So what we've been working on, well, we have quite a highlight past year. Like September marks the 1-year anniversary of 50 Millimeter Collective. So I want to share our highlights reels and also share
Yeah, that's an amazing feat, by the way. That's an amazing feat, by the way. There's a lot of Web3 companies or whatever you want to call them that have come and gone. You know, people have tried their hand at things and didn't make it. And so, you know, we're talking about builders are still here, right? In this bear market, who are still building on the technologies and advancing this culture. So we appreciate you, and flowers, you know, flowers to y'all, how it goes off to y'all, all that. So happy anniversary. Let's do this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this past year, our highlights, well, what kicked it all off was our first annual Meta Masquerade, which we'll go into year 2 later. But some highlights from last year: we had over 100 guests. We booked only local BIPOC vendors, and we had our virtual art gallery, which was featured IRL. After that event, we did our next curation, which was our Bold Black Beauty Gallery. And that was for celebrating Blackness on the blockchain during the month of February. And we had that gallery up through the end of March. We highlighted 100 Black artists from all over the world in that virtual gallery. And then during NFT LA this past year, we did our next curation, which was the Pass Vault. Raven is part of the Pass team, and they an amazing group. They allowed us to they gave us funds to collect for their gallery. So we were able to curate a virtual gallery for the Pass NFT project, and that gallery was displayed during NFT LA. And then after that, we did our visibility gallery tour, which was our most recent virtual gallery exhibition. And Visibility Gallery celebrates queerness on the blockchain. And we had that up during LGBTQIA plus Visibility Month. So June through the end of August. And this was our first virtual gallery that we were able to take on tour. So that was during NFT NYC. We had a gallery showing in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Harlem with Waconomy. And we finished our tour in Los Angeles at the Quantum Space out in Santa Monica. And that was just an insane thing to do, to be able to like do a gallery.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what a virtual digital gallery is. So if you could just real quick, like break down, what is that entitled? Like y'all have digital frames, y'all got to carry, like what do you have to do that?
Yeah, so we use OnCyber for our galleries, and it pretty much looks like an art gallery in the metaverse. You can even wear Oculus goggles, walk through the gallery. You can walk up to each individual piece. A little box will pop up. It'll give you the description, the artist. If you click on it, it'll take you directly to where it's minted. You can purchase right on the spot. If you have your Oculus on, if it's a music NFT or has any spoken word or any type of sound, it automatically starts playing, which is super dope. And so that's kind of like the on-cyber.
That's futuristic right there. So are y'all having to lug around equipment, or do most venues have the stuff for you there, or what does that piece look like?
So we actually had a huge short throw projector. So it's just like a laser projector, and we actually had this huge suitcase that we were lugging around New York. It was crazy, but
it was wild, but it was also perfect because the projector fit perfectly in the suitcase that we had, and we didn't know. Like we came and
we rented it after we got there because we were like, we can't ship the one we have here out. It was but it worked out. And the projector itself, like it projects like over 100 and
It's 120 feet.
yeah, 120 feet. So it is a huge like screen. Like it really feels like you're walking through the gallery, and all we need is a blank wall. So we can really take our galleries anywhere, which is a cool thing about a virtual gallery. Also, you have an event, you want a art element, we got you. We got our virtual gallery.
That's a
But-
really good point. Go ahead, carry on. I don't want to cut you off. Carry on, because I want to come back to that about like the difference in having, for artists, having to deal with the traditional galleries and not having the money and funding for that. But please, I don't want to cut you off. Carry on. Remind me about that.
So Visibility Gallery Tour, NFT NYC was our last kind of big thing that we did. We also this year have been able to collect 70 pieces of diverse artworks from communities all over the world and artists all over the world. We launched our YouTube channel that has resources on how to get your MetaMask set up, the Gitcoin, NFT 101 workshops that we live stream, how to claim social tokens, and more resources in the gallery that have not been edited yet, but more to come. We also launched our ReadyWear collection. So what you guys can see us wearing, I don't know if anyone else, but we have brought utility reverse with our garments. So anyone who places an order on our website will receive a QR code, either in the label of the garment, or if it's an accessory, it'll come separate. But with that, you're able to claim 50 millimeter collective social tokens. And we're in the process of building a marketplace where you can claim those social tokens with digital items, NFTs, experiences. We're still building it out. So unlimited possibilities right now with that. And
sounds dope. And those hoodies look comfortable.
Yo,
you.
we live in the
Definitely gotta go
hoodies,
order
like-
me one after this.
That would be awesome. Am I leaving anything out with our highlight years? Highlight of this past year?
No, we checked all the boxes. That's like,
Nice. And then
getting into the second annual Meta Masquerade that's coming out.
yes, second annual Meta Masquerade. So last year we did a 1-day event. This year it's going to be a 2-day IRL experience in Los Angeles. So we're going to have a day 1 where we'll have a luncheon and a panel. We'll have an in-depth conversation with some of the top creators in the NFT space, just providing resources to our community, what it's like minting on different blockchains, and just really.
And we will compensate these speakers for their time and perspective and journey that they've
Let's
encountered
go.
in the NFT space.
That's what
Let's
I'm talking
go.
about. Do it.
Always leading the way, because that's
Yeah.
something we've been talking about, in this space.
Yeah.
So appreciate
Yeah,
that.
because to do it, even NFT LA, like they have that huge conference, they have panels, even NFT NYC. They don't compensate any of those panelists. Your tickets are
No, they compensate some of the panelists, but not all. There's a big distinction. Let's get that clear. They do compensate.
They don't compensate us.
Right.
They told me that they don't compensate anybody.
No,
And
they
so,
do. They do.
Yeah.
They
So
definitely do.
y'all right. So people got to cough up money to go to these conferences and then really don't get, the value. I mean, there's some panels, whatever with you, but you're paying out of pocket for that. So y'all are trying to flip that script.
Yeah, so we have an awesome day 1 lined up, and then the day 2 will be the actual Meta Masquerade, which is a black tie event. We did this last year because
Fancy.
also in going to the NFT events, shorts, t-shirts, like flip-flops, we were like, no, like we what? I mean, that's
time to
fine.
elevate.
It's time to elevate.
You know what? I was fine with that because I didn't have to buy any extra clothes. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but like it's holiday season. It'll be November, and it'll just be a really. Also, last year was like still kind of like the end of. Not really end of the pandemic, but everyone needed a reason to like really dress up and get out and just
Take a
like
shower, take a
have
good haircut.
look nice and feel
I
good.
get it.
You look good, you
Yeah.
feel good. So we're bringing that back again. Last year the masks were mandatory, and we also did the Meta Masquerade because a lot of artists were still doxxed and they didn't want to like reveal their identities. So that way you could still be anonymous and like enjoy like an IRL event with your friends. So that was like really important for us.
Oh, I was just gonna say that the experience is complimentary, so we don't. Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't require people to purchase tickets or anything like that. It's open to the community.
Mhm.
This year we do have a bit of a because at the end of the day we finalize the guest list. We go through and single-handedly, we have a cap at whatever the venue capacity is, and if you're on the guest list, great. If you're not, sorry. But we do have like kind of a system, I guess, this year, because we did launch the infinity tickets last year to holders and or to the community, and that was our fundraising effort to fund the Meta Masquerade, because we were coming completely out of pocket initially. We just felt like this really had to happen, and it was going to happen whether we raise money for it or if we paid for it. But we launched the infinity ticket. Those sales helped fund the Meta Masquerade. So that ticket in particular grants holders lifetime access to all future Meta Masquerades, just for being like investors in the first one and believing in us in the first go around. And so this year we'll be launching, every gallery we have what's called a gallery banner to just kind of that we mint on the blockchain to signify, hey, this gallery curation happened during this time. These are available for you to collect, to support the gallery curation, to support the 50mm collective, support the artists in the gallery. And so this year with the Meta Masquerade gallery banner token, that will, still serve the same purpose of encouraging people to support the gallery and the artists within it, but also that will increase your chances of getting on the finalized guest list if you collect one of those gallery banner tokens.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all got that coming up. So is all this stuff based in Cali, right? Based in Cali, Meta Masquerade and all that stuff. So what if I'm a holder in a different state? Like, everybody's talking about utility. That's not necessarily the case when we come with artists, because artists are utility and the art that they create is utility. But is there something I can look forward to being from out of town and if I purchase your token?
Well, for the infinity ticket, though, the access to those is transferable. So if you're not based in LA, but you grabbed one last year, you're able to send that to a friend as long as they have that in their wallet. Then they're able to get
access. Oh, that's dope.
And it won't always be in LA. Like,
yeah,
it may be on the East Coast, it may be in Spain one year, who knows? But like, if you have an infinity ticket, you're always going to be able to get in.
It may be in Portland.
It may be in Portland.
Might be in Africa. I mean, come on, come through.
we want to take it worldwide at some point, and because this is a global market, and be able to invite artists from the different places that we do take the Meta Masquerade. Shoot, I mean, last year we were talking about getting to the point and building it so big to where we're able to have the funds to fly some artists out to come and experience the showcase of their artwork and things like that. So sky's
definitely the goal. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So now let's get into some advice and tools you have, because a lot of people who are listening to this are new or either uninformed about Web3. So if they're interested, if they're artists, if they're creatives, what advice do you have for them, and what tools have you used along your process that could potentially help them in their journey? I know that's a loaded question because I know things change throughout time, even in that whole year span, but just both of you guys, if you could play off like each other, just letting us know what are some tools and advice that you have.
I would say just initially just start doing research. And I feel like one of the things that resources that I would say is the best resource is going to be Twitter. Make sure you're on Twitter, and what would you?
I would say make sure you're tapped in with the 50mm collective. Like, we are a ever evolving resource. Like, we're constantly like,
Boom, pow.
educating ourselves, and like, just that I feel like we just kind of follow that excitement of like learning the new things within the space. And as we learn them, we pass them on to the Fitty fam, and just like, yo, here's how you can airdrop tokens to your collectors, or here's a tutorial on
Like how to get your wallet set up.
Yeah, and send it to a friend. You know what I mean? Here's a tutorial on how to get your Gitcoin profile set up so you're able to apply for a grant, and just like putting people onto different resources. But like Chelsea said, Twitter is a huge resource to getting started. Discord is also a really big resource. I would say like Twitter, you can have like, you can still have pretty good conversations with people, but I feel like Discord, you get a little bit more connection, because I feel like you have to have a certain level of commitment to join somebody's Discord server, and then to also be active and commenting and answering questions and things in there. And then I would also say YouTube is a good resource.
Yeah.
Well, something I heard you say earlier triggered a thought in me. And a common theme I'm seeing with Web3 artists is like a new level of entrepreneurialism. Like, you know, you are really hustling and grinding on your art level, but you're also learning all these tools and all the different things that you have to do to kind of organize the business and grow the business. We had another artist named Jaden on our show a little bit ago, and he was saying the same thing of like, okay, I had to go and learn, and I'm watching these videos and I'm learning and I'm asking a lot of questions. You got to have to kind of be a go-getter, like asking questions, asking people, how do you do this? And how did you get to where you are at? And not just sitting there kind of like letting things go by you, you know what I mean? So I just see that spirit in Web3, and I definitely see that with 50mm Collective and the 50 Fair. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's also still so new. Like NFTs, like Web3 still isn't a mainstream thing. So like anyone who starts like asking questions and learning now is still going to be ahead of the curve, just in general. I feel like because we're just already so ahead, and I feel like even with that, because there is no like kind of set way to move or grow in the space, we just make it up as we go, and it works because there's no real like blueprint on how to do it. So whatever you do is going to work because there's no one there to say no, it's not, because nobody's done it before. So I feel like that's like the exciting thing about it, is like you really do like kind of create your opportunities in the space by just like existing in it
and showing up consistently, and putting yourself, it is like there is like a certain level of, I don't know, courageousness or something within this, of like, to a certain extent you could completely remain anonymous and just like behind your Twitter account, and that's all that people get, or you can push yourself a little bit and be more vulnerable and show up authentically in your most authentic way, and that be encouraged in this space, and kind of to a certain extent. But I kind of lost my train of thought. But
that's okay. It was a good thought. It sounded good.
We on the tip of advice and things like that. We talked to some of our other artists, because if you're in this space and you're getting into this space and you're seeing some people have some success, and they're getting different things like events that they're getting put on and things like that. Can y'all talk about like, what are some of the behind the scenes things that people might not see? So like some of the networking you might have to do, some of the sponsorships that you might have to get, because some people make it look like it's easy and like they're doing these things and you're like, how are they doing these things? But they're not really saying like, oh, because I have this team, or I have this, or I have these resources, these sponsors, or I have this and this. So like, what does that look like for you?
And the strategy behind it, because that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I feel like just initially for us, like putting ourselves in like uncomfortable like settings, like mainly like non-diverse settings of like NFT events, and like going up to the people who we know are like doing big moves in the space and being like, hi, I'm Raven, I'm Chelsea, we're 50 millimeter collective, and like we'll both push each other to like go talk to people. Like in the very beginning, like I won't name names, but Raven would be like, oh, that's so and so, I really want to go talk to them. I'd be like, so and so, like act like we know
Literally
them and we
flagging them down.
don't. I'm like, hey, like this is Raven. Like we would do that in the beginning just because like if no, we gotta put ourselves on. Like we really were like waving people
That
down.
was a lot of Chelsea because I had a lot lot of social anxiety. Like
Big
just
ups, Chelsea.
Yeah,
That's
no, for real.
me. I'm the hype girl.
no facts.
But also because like Raven was like kind of more like in the know of the space too in the beginning, and so I didn't have like any like expectation of anyone or really know who they were initially. Like, oh, I know this is like a big person in the space because you told me so, but like I haven't seen everything they've done, so I'm not like I didn't feel any type of way about like not doing it. Maybe now, no, I think we still do that. We we will just literally
You put a pause on it now.
no, we don't. Like, but I feel like also with that, like there are situations where like we can't, well, not can't, but you have to know like what communities like you're involving yourself in and like what they're about. Because you know what I'm trying to talk about, like getting to just because someone has like a great event and like wanting to be a part of it and then going to their events and not seeing that like be in alignment with your beliefs and your communities and like wanting to like bring your community and resources to another particular community, I feel like was one of a hard lesson we have to learn. Like, yeah, this is a huge community, they have a great following, like it would be really beneficial for us to like partner up with them, but at the end of the day, like our values don't align and it's not really worth it. I feel like those are like kind
Oh, I
of
know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. You know, and it's the same in when you have a business and funding, or you're a nonprofit like I have, and you're looking for funding streams, and certain organizations that want to give you money are like, oh, you know, or certain NFT projects are like, oh, we're apes or whatever it might be, and
yeah,
they just might just not align, or they might just not be inclusive. So I hear what you're saying.
yeah.
For sure.
But that's kind of, I feel like that's like kind of the behind the scenes that you don't see us doing. Like everything's out and open in the timeline, but like
Yeah, like definitely going to a lot of events and like building relationships with people and be also just being a resource. Like 50 millimeter collective is like a really valuable resource for new people entering into the space and artists who are here. Like we're pioneers, so we're and innovators. Like we're not afraid to try something and ask the questions on the timeline. And so then as we're asking the questions, people are learning along with us, you know, getting the information and the knowledge. So I think that also plays a part in it.
It does. And that vulnerability is what a lot of startups have an issue with. Like, you're supposed to fail fast and early. So you can't fail fast if you don't act fast, if you're not vulnerable in that way. So kudos to you guys, because you're not failing. You are like breaking barriers. Like you said, you're pioneering and you are sticking to not only your mission, but your values. And a lot of people lose sight of that. So, I mean, big ups, big respect to you guys. We got you up here for a reason. When we met you in LA, I'm like,
Yeah.
like they're real. They are out here in the streets doing what everybody is fronting on the gram, pretending to be doing. Like you are genuinely out doing the work. So big up, big respect. Like
thank y'all.
y'all hear the applause in the background?
I also want to I do remember the Web3 pull up because initially I wasn't supposed to be on the panel. And Nessa, I remember you being like, so-and-so, like, I don't know who it was. Someone didn't show up. And I was like, oh, I'll be on it. And I was like kind of joking, but kind of being serious. And you were like, no, you should be on it. So like, thank you. Cause that was actually like my first time, like being able to speak on a panel and to be at Web3 Pull Up, to be with Economy, and to be like with Raven and 50mm Collective, like it really like made a huge difference for me. So I just want to say thank you for that, because that was my first panel that I ever
Really,
saw.
I couldn't tell.
That's dope,
Like you
right.
had it down pat.
Y'all look like naturals.
So yeah, I was ready. I was
Killed
ready.
You was ready.
Stay ready, so
No.
you got to get ready.
Yeah.
Facts. No, you guys are truly like a power combo. I really, really, really like respect and honor your spirit, your energy, everything you guys have and what you're offering. Amu, I think you had another question. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to at least let you guys know that like it's beautiful what you have and what you're building and what you're doing. So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I forgot my thought, but we
I'm
are,
sorry.
we're getting near the end. It's okay. It will come back to me in just a second. So
okay, well, let's go into your upcoming event. And then he'll come to his thought and we'll close it out. But tell us what's coming up now with the Meta Masquerade or whatever else. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah. So we definitely have the Meta Masquerade coming up, as well as which we'll like deep dive into that. I'm trying to think of, is there anything?
For the Meta Masquerade, our open call just went live yesterday. So we are accepting artwork submissions now. It's going to be minted on Tezos, on Object, Tezos blockchain. So both of you please submit. If you know anyone, like send them to the collective. We have we have 110 slots in the gallery, and
We're looking to fill them all.
Every single slot we're looking to fill. And if there's just so much amazing artwork, we figured out how to make a portal in the On-Cyber gallery to connect to our charcoal gallery. So that might add a whole nother 100 pieces. So we don't know, but right now it's 110.
Nice. And don't forget, because you guys, again, are doing so much work in the community. You have this Gitcoin grant that you're raising funds for. Please tell us about that. I know there's a big word in there called this quadratic funding, whatever, but you don't have to dive into all, but just let us know about that, please.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to?
Yeah. I can speak a little on the Gitcoin grant. So that let me just preface by saying, like, I just learned about all of this stuff like a handful of days ago.
Yeah.
About a week ago or so. I feel like we were in the spaces and just like hearing about it, and then here we go down the rabbit hole again. But it's Gitcoin is a resource for really anybody. You're able to set up a profile and submit a grant for your project or for whatever you're working on, and it goes through an acceptance process, and
this is the first time they added diversity and inclusion as a tab. So I believe we're in the very first like diversity and inclusion round, and each round is every 5 weeks, I believe. But the cool thing about the quadratic funding, just formula in general, it doesn't matter the amount of money someone donates or contributes. All that matters is the number of people. So like right now on our page, if someone were to donate $1, it would be matched by $32. So like,
that's major.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And that's a game changer for people who are trying to raise funds.
Yeah,
Seriously,
especially on a community-based kind of standpoint too, because like we really value our community, and we don't necessarily expect everyone to like give us money
or purchase NFTs.
Or purchase
all the time.
NFTs all the time, or even things for the shop, because everything in the shop goes 100% back into the artist and collecting work. So, and it could even be less than $1. So the fact that $1 is a $32 match, like half of that, like it's really insane. Like, I don't know exactly how the math works. I just really appreciate it. But
It's quadratic.
Yeah, right. It's quadratic.
It is quadratic. But within Gitcoin, there are so many different tabs. So the more tabs you qualify for, the higher match you get in each round. Also, there's a thing called your passport. So when you do sign up for Gitcoin, you're able to like connect your social profiles to like prove you're a human. And I think if you match 3 or stamp your passport 3 times, you get the 150% match. You think it's a couple more?
It's like
maybe
4
to 6.
Yeah.
But then by even doing that, your contribution is matched even higher, which is crazy. I think that it should be getting easier in the future to where you don't necessarily have to set up a whole Gitcoin profile to contribute to the communities that you support. So in a sense, they're saying it's not technically decentralized, but they're working towards being a more decentralized platform, and that you don't actually have to create a profile to give. But that's kind of like a very general overview. But within that, the pool, there are like all of our friends, our quadratic friends, pretty much every single community that we love and support is in this round with us, and we've all supported each other. And I feel like that just speaks to Web3 and how community-based it is and community-driven. And I feel like it even brought us closer together, like joining spaces together, like even with like 40 acres and take up space is just like,
and
we already
Meg,
know them.
she's doing a lot. And Meg
yeah,
Dow.
Definitely. But like being able to like reconnect and like join all forces and have like a giant spaces where like all our communities can like interact with each other, I think it's just like so cool. I don't know.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Quick,
it's a cool mechanism
guys,
too. Like,
hold on one second, Moo, because I'm gonna put the link in here to for people to contribute to, but I want to make sure everybody knows there are a few key steps that you have to do, because I want people to be able to contribute not only to your cause, but to everybody's cause collectively, because there are a lot of amazing people doing work in this space. You have to have a crypto wallet. You have to have, that's number one. I don't recommend you stay here, but Coinbase is an easy way to enter for people who are not knowledgeable. And as she mentioned, Gitcoin account. And the third one, you have to have a GitHub account. So actually GitHub second, you don't have to be a developer. You just got to create the account and then create the Gitcoin account. So 1, 2, 3, crypto wallet, GitHub, and then Gitcoin. And then you can contribute to their cause. As she said, the passports, so that it will be amplified times 150, which is mind-boggling, but that's quadratic. Go ahead, Moo. Take it away.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. No, it's just, yeah, I was going to pretty much say the same thing. So you said it perfectly.
My bad.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. All right. So I guess, is there anything else anybody else would like to say before we run through the socials and get the information on where everybody is? Moo, 50mm Collective.
No, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and get into some socials. Well, before we go, I just want to shout out you, Nessa, and me, Dope. This is an amazing platform. I appreciate it. I want to shout out Raven and Chelsea. Thank y'all for your time today. This has been a beautiful interview. Thank you for the alpha, and thank you for the journey, and blazing a trail in this space and representing for people who look like y'all. So thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank y'all
Yes.
for having us as guests.
So go ahead and shout out 50 millimeters, all y'all socials. What y'all got? How we find y'all? How do we connect?
We are at 50 millimeter collective across all socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all
That's
of that.
Brandon right there. Okay.
LinkedIn, tap in with the LinkedIn. We're across all the platforms. I'm at Raven 50 millimeter across all platforms as well.
Mhm.
And then
And I'm at Chelsea Quintella across all platforms.
All right, Lou, where you at? Where you at?
Right, y'all perfect. Y'all made it nice and easy.
I know.
I got weird underscores on each of mine. But you know, it's your boy Meta Move. You can pretty much find me in some type of formation of that name across all social medias. Right now, my Twitter is at @_Savage Uchiha. So
spell that out for us. Actually, we'll put it up. What's your TikTok?
TikTok is @MetaMove_.
That TikTok be popping.
Show. And what about you? What about you, Nessa?
Well, Me Dope does not have an official Instagram or all of the others, but we are on Twitter @Me Dope. If you want to follow me, I am your Web3 strategist and online strategist. I am at Nessa Rutazamba everywhere. Nessa, Nessa. We'll put it up here with the words, but I'm gonna say it for the podcast because the podcast can't see. Nessa. Last time I spelled my last name wrong. I'm gonna spell it right this time. Rutazamba, RUTAZAMBA. Got it right that time. But I literally left a whole letter out, and I don't think anybody even noticed. But whatever. All right. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for being you. All of everyone, it's love. And I just appreciate all the work everybody's doing. It's a village, and I know it's a lot that we're all doing, and everybody doesn't always get their flowers, but that's the whole point of Me Dope, just to let everybody know, look, we dope. So we out here.
For sure. Peace out, y'all.
amen to that. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Peace.